Hopefully, the voice of civil society will read to Afia's release. Dr. Fozia Siddiqui. Dr. Fozia Siddiqui, during the so-called war on terror, false and baseless news about Afia was spread. Dr. Fozia Siddiqui's special address at the International Online Conference on Breaking the Silence organized by the Alliance for Civil Liberties.
Thank you for having me, respected delegates and attendees. Greetings of peace from Pakistan. I am Dr. Fozia Siddiqui, and I became involved in CCF because of my sister, Dr. Afia Siddiqui. Some of you may have heard something of her story, likely innuendo or misinformation. The truth, very briefly, is that Afia is a mother of 3 and a brilliant Muslim woman whose only passion was to bring education to children. For this, she studied at some of the finest institutions, including MIT and Brandeis in the US. Then, somewhere in the blind aftermath of 9/11, Afia became a victim of the war of terror. 17 years ago, Afia and her 3 young children were disappeared from the streets of Karachi and renditioned to black sites. The youngest was only 6 months old and remains missing, presumed dead. In 2008, after some activists like you raised voices, Afia was mysteriously discovered in Afghanistan, where she had been held and tortured, becoming known as the infamous Ghost Prisoner 650. Almost immediately, she was shot by US servicemen in a surprisingly suspicious staged encounter and cover-up. Despite nearly fatal wounds, she was whisked away to America without any due process, and 10 years ago, she was sentenced to 86 years in prison for snatching their rifle and attempting to kill the same US serviceman who shot her. This, even though forensic examination showed no fingerprints on the alleged rifle, no rifle bullets or casings in the room. The prosecution was an absurd frame-up, and all references to her 5-year black prison site ordeal was forbidden. After years of campaigning, Afia's 2 older children were finally returned to me, and I have been raising them as my own. As for Afia, we have no contact, no letter, phone, nothing. The torture continues. It is heartbreaking that those who know of Afia's and others' injustices, who can make a difference, remain silent, fortifying the oppression. So today's theme about breaking the silence is welcome, given the fear that has reigned for so long. I have seen firsthand how twisted the concepts of justice and law have become. How the notion without fear or favor has become by fear for favor. But despite these failings, I continue to believe in the basic goodness of humanity, and so does Afia. I conclude with a small appeal from Afia herself.
The time is now for us to get together and come up with solutions for these problems. Let none of us think that we cannot make a difference. Yes, we can, if our intention is pure.
I hope and pray that our combined voices will see Afia and other captives return home, inshallah. Thank you very much.